What's up guys, Best Qiyana NA here. In this TikTok we're going to cover if you should build Prowler's Claw, Eclipse, or Dustblade. Let's go. What's up guys, we're going to start with Dustblade. I'm going to do Auto EQ WQ, Auto EQ WQ. As you can see, 795 damage. Now guys, we're going to do the same combo with Eclipse, Auto EQ WQ, 780. Now guys, of course with Prowler's Claw I have to use the actives. I'm going to do Prowler's Claw, Auto EQ WQ, 929 damage. Okay guys, I'm going to explain this fast because I don't have a lot of time on TikTok. There's only 1 minute. So basically, if you're under plat MMR, you want to do Eclipse. It's better than Dustblade. It's easy to use and it does more damage than Dustblade later on and it just scales better. Better Mythic passive, better stats, better everything, better passive. Now, if you're at least plat MMR, you want to build Prowlers because it does more damage. It's harder to use, but you have more outplay potential. So it's just a better item overall. Now, I'm going to do the full version of my YouTube. So if you want to check it out, just go in my bio and click on my YouTube and you'll find it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next TikTok. Peace out. What's up guys? Now we're actually on YouTube. So if you are coming here, you probably maybe watch my TikTok because I did a short TikTok. But on TikTok, there's 1 minute maximum, right? So if there's only 1 minute maximum, I can't really explain everything in details, right? So here on YouTube, I'll just explain why I think Prowler is the best if you're high elo. And why I think Eclipse is the best if you're low elo. Now hear me out, right? Here's the damage, right? Like, that's just one item. These damage are one item on a target with 70 armor and 400 HP. 1400 HP, right? If you look at Prowlers, it's clearly the best by far, which makes sense. Prowlers is the best item on Qiyana by far. Like, Prowlers, every good Qiyana player build Prowlers. If you look at me, if you look at Shocks, you look at Quantum, you look at the Chinese Qiyana, you look at the current Qiyana, like everyone, they build Prowlers. Why? Because it like adds mechanics to Qiyana. It just makes your kit so much more potent, so much more damage, just so much more everything. More, the item on base stats has more lethality, more attack damage, just more everything. The item is just better. Better mythic passive, better stats, better passive, better everything. So it just makes sense. Now, why am I saying that you shouldn't build this if you're not high elo? The reason is it's just a hard item to use, and sometimes people use it for no reason. Like they use it when they shouldn't be using it, or they don't use it when they should be using it, or they just don't use it on the minion. It's just so many mechanics that if you're trying to learn Qiyana, the champion is hard enough already. You don't need another mechanic that's gonna make the champion even harder. Does that make sense? Like you want to use Eclipse to learn the champ, and when you're good enough, at least plat MMR, and you're getting good at Qiyana, then you switch over to Prowlers, and you're gonna see the true potential of Qiyana. And why am I saying that Eclipse is better than Dustblade? Like, if you just look at the numbers here, right? You guys need to realize something. Like, this is 15 damage difference. How often do you see someone living with 15 HP? Like, not a lot. It's not gonna happen if you're playing Qiyana, right? So, like, if we look at this, right? This is with one item only, like only Dustblade and only Eclipse. You need to keep in mind that Eclipse just scales better. Now, why does Eclipse scale better? It's simple. Eclipse does damage based, I'm talking about the passive, right? The passive does damage based on the enemy health, right? Every time you level up, you're just going to get more and more HP. So that damage is going to get higher and higher, right? Now, people are going to say, yes, the same thing for Dustblade. Dustblade, the passive scales with ED or something. Yes, but it got nerfed. It got nerfed, and on top of that, it doesn't scale as hard as enemies because enemies, you know, they get a lot of HP and they build items like that also gives them HP, right? So all around the board, it just scales better. Now, on top of that, that's just the passive, right? The mythic passive, it's like 10 times better. Let's compare 5 ability haste, right? 5 ability haste, that's for Dustblade, right? That's how much CDR? That's like 2 to 3% CDR. 2 to 3%, is that a joke? That's literally nothing. Now, let's compare the mythic passive of Eclipse, which is 4% armor pen. That's like so much better. It just scales better because you remove armor based on the enemies, right? If we look, let's say at 2 items, that's why I did the numbers here, right? On an enemy that has at least like 70 armor and 1400 HP at 2 items, right? So Prowler's Claw is going to remove 21 armor because the item gives 21 lethality, and the mythic passive is 5 lethality per item completed. So that's 10 more lethality. So that's 31 lethality. That's a lot. You're almost removing like half the armor of the guy. And that's why this item is really potent. But now I need to expand my point on Eclipse, why Eclipse is so much better. Now, if we look at Eclipse, it's 18 base lethality, but the passive now hits 8%, which is 5.6 for 70. So you remove 23.6 armor, which is better than Dustblade, right? Dustblade is not going to scale. It gives ability haste. It's not going to scale at all. So you're not going to get any, like, the later the game goes, the less the item's going to be effective, the less it's going to do damage. And, like, let's be honest, right? 10, you complete 2 items, right? So you have 10 ability haste. 10 ability haste is about 6% CDR. You better have 6% CDR or have 8 armor pen. 8% armor pen is way better. You do more damage to tanks, you do more damage to carries, and your goal as Qiyana is to one-shot people, right? I understand CDR is good. I'm not saying CDR is not good. I'm just saying damage over CDR on a Mythic passive is 100 times better. It's not only that, it just scales better. The item is just way better. Now, I didn't even talk about the whole defensive side of the item, because if we compare Duskblade to Eclipse, they both have defensive stats, like the defensive mechanism, if we talk about it like that way, right? Like, Duskblade has the invisibility, so when you kill someone, you're invisible. That lasts about 1 second, I think. And then you have Eclipse, who gives a massive shield. Like, if we compare these two, yes, invisibility looks cool. Is it actually good? It's not good. Like, if you compare the invisibility to the shield is 100% better on top of giving movement speed on top of that. Like, if you build Eclipse and you just put your mouse over it and you look at the damage blocked, every game it's at least 2,000. At least 2,000. Like, you guys need to realize this. Like, people build items to block damage. If you look at a shield bow, Eclipse could block more damage than shield bow, and the whole concept of shield bow is to block damage, give you a shield to block damage. That's the shield is massive. And Eclipse often blocks more damage than, you know, the shield bow, but on top of that, it does damage as well. And it scales better than the Duskblade. Like, there's just no question. Duskblade's not as good. And on top of that, with the build, especially my build, if you follow my YouTube, you're going to get a lot of CDR in the build anyways. So you don't need that ability from Duskblade, because you're going to get it from the boots, you're going to get from Mirror Mana, you're going to get from not Umbral Glaive. I mean, you could go Umbral Glaive. I don't really like that item, so I don't really recommend it. But Grudge gives a lot of CDR. There's a lot of items that give CDR, so you're not going to need CDR anyways. So that's like my view on it, guys. I hope it clears up a bit. It helps you guys decide which item you should go for. Like I said, invisibility, it feels good, but it feels cool, but like I want to win games, right? So I'm not going to build Duskblade. I tried it a lot. If you go on my channel and if you follow me, you could see a lot of videos even recently. I re-gave it a shot. I've been saying that Duskblade was trash for months now. I literally believe Duskblade is the worst item in the game, and there's a reason for it. Like, it's just terrible. The item just feels so bad. So that's it for the video, guys. Just finish with the runes, because if you go the Eclipse build, I think that you should have different runes. And let me show you guys the runes. Since you don't have ability haste, he's going to fill it a bit on the ultimate. So instead of going Ravenous Honor or Relentless Honor, depending on what you like, you should go Ultimate Hunter. This one's going to help you a lot with your ultimate ability cooldown, and it's going to make the Eclipse build feels a lot smoother. So that's it for the video, guys. I'm pretty sure I didn't forget anything. If you have any questions, like usual, just, you know, drop in the comments. I'll answer everything. Since I'm on the runes, I'll just complete it. Usually what I like to do as Qiyana, I like to take those runes if I'm against ranged, and if I'm against melee matchups, I like to take those runes because the coup de grace comes clutch a lot. And even sometimes I'll drop the ability haste just like that, because it could feel like it just feels really good. I'm still testing that though, so like, no, I don't really recommend you try it. Maybe just keep it as a force for now. But that's it for the video, boys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you came from TikTok, I hope you learned a lot, and you enjoyed this like full version more than the TikTok, right? Because on TikTok you only have like about a minute, I think, to put the video, so it's not like as detailed as this. So I hope you guys learned a lot. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.